Hi, welcome again. Now, TerrainMagic has a noise-based landscape builder, so you can do very cool things with that. So let me give you a demo first, and after that we're gonna discuss how to do that from step by step. First, I go to the place actors. I gonna search for clip. So now we have a noise landscape clip feature. I'm gonna drag that into my landscape like this. Go to my details panel. I'm gonna hit this match landscape size twice. Right, instantly it will give me a landscape like this, and this is generated via noises that we shape with this tool. So this looks nice, but we can do a lot of customization. So let me give you an overview of what are the things we can do. Currently there's only a mountain noise called mountain noise, but there will be some other noises in the upcoming releases. And first I have a feature called noise sharpness, so I'm going to reduce that a little bit, something like this. Validate. Now you can see you get a smooth landscape like this, and then right after that you can increase the details value like this, so you can see like a lot of variations in your landscape, as well as you can control these two values, sharpness and details, and get the desired effect that you're looking for. Like in this case you get something like this, and this looks really nice over here, but if you go closer the landscape resolution is not that good, so it doesn't look good. But of course you can reduce the details level a little bit and maybe get something you really like. Now we have something called noise contrast, so you can increase this a little bit right then. Now you can see more flat surface if you increase the contrast. I think this value is quite high. I'm going to put a value like, let's say 0.3, so you get a result like this. Now you can increase the noise detail a little bit. I think this is good, and I'm going to increase sharpness a little bit. I can do quite interesting variations into your landscape, but it's totally up to you. You can control these values as you wish. Of course we can do fade control as well. For example, I'm gonna hit the I'm gonna hit the box fade and do something like this, so we get something like this. And then I can have the seed control. Basically I can change the seed. I can get a different variation of this, so I can simply like play with the seed and I can get a different variation. Also I can change the noise position. I can move this by, you can see I can move it by the X and Y direction, so that's handy in some cases. Right, now I can make a duplicate of this, so I can easily go to the clip and I can hit alter, and I can get a duplicate copy of this, so I can rotate it if I wanted, like let's say something like this, and I'm gonna hit invalidate, so it's gonna duplicate copy like this, so it will replace. I can toggle it. This is how it looks like. This is how you mix that. So I'm gonna rotate it a little bit over here, maybe like this. All right, interesting. So basically I can reposition this one, and yeah, you can get something like this. And the interesting thing is, now after that I can put something on top of over here. For example, in this area I need to have some sort of like a circular space. Totally doable. So here's a trick how to do that. So you can get a height map landscape clip, put it on the center, and then you can put any height map you have, invalidate. So now you have this height map rendered on the center, but I can do some fading. So I'm going to do a circular fading, and I have something like this. So I have this landscape clip height map on the center, but I don't want that right now. So I'm going to reduce the height map multiplier, let's say a value like close to 0, and put invalidate. Now you got a flat surface over here. So likewise you can create a stage kind of effect like this. Of course you can reduce the fade mask span. I can put a value like 0.3. you can get a stage like a effect like this. So if that's you are going for, you can have that. Also we have a fading for box fading as well, so yeah, you can have this. So basically you can bring your ideas inside the engine and you can tweak it and get what you're really looking for without using any other external software. Alright, that's it for the demo. Right now I'm going to show you how to start working with TerrainMagic from scratch so you can continue with your project. Right, in order to do that, I'm going to remove everything related to TerrainMagic and I'm going to keep a simple empty landscape. Right, now we have an empty landscape over here. So you can see we have a sun sky actor and also the landscape. You can search the content bar for TerrainMagic. And here we are directly to TerrainMagic content. If you can't see that, go to the select settings icon and select this show engine content and show plugin content. And here search for sun sky, and you will see that this actor, so it will add a simple sun and sky setup. So you don't have to do that, you can use UDS or any other sun sky setup. And here I'm using open land as a landscape material, so there's no requirement to use open land. I'm just using because I created that. So the first thing is you need to enable TerrainMagic as a plugin. So you need to get that plugin into your engine. You need to install that into your engine. You can get it from the marketplace, check the description below, or you can get it from the GitHub for non-commercial purpose as well. So I'm going to search for TerrainMagic and make sure you enable that, and you can restart your project. And then you need to go to your landscape and here search for edit layers. So here make sure to enable this enable edit layers checkbox. Now we're ready, and now I can go to the select mode landscape, and here I'm gonna go to the sculpt section and go to the blueprint, and here I'm gonna select a brush called TerrainMagic clip brush. So we're gonna use a feature called landscape clips. So I'm gonna use that TerrainMagic clip brush, and I'm gonna hit somewhere on the landscape. So I can act like this, and this is all we need to do, and we are good to go. Then I'm gonna go to the select mode, right? And then open your place actors tab. If you can't see that, it will be available over here, this plus icon, and here will be something called place actors panel. You can dock it anywhere you like. I like to keep it here. And then here search for clip. Here we have a landscape clip actors. Here we have two actors, noise and height map clip. I'm gonna grab the noise landscape clip. I'm gonna put it over here. Then I can simply hit invalidate. So it will run the noise logic, and it will create a simple landscape based on this. And then I can scale it if I want. Like I can scale it, or I can move it to anywhere I like and hit invalidate. Also I can rotate it as I wish and hit invalidate. It will available over here. But here we have a simple button called match landscape size. If you want to scale it to a whole landscape, you can simply hit that button. Now there are some options you have. The first thing is general settings that you need to control. You have setup settings for the mountain noise. So you can set the noise type, and then you can modify the height, and you can modify the fading. So I'll explain all those things in order right now. So the one thing is mountain noise. So here we have the scale. I can put a value like 1, so that's the then you have like you don't see much changes over here. 3 the default, which looks good, but you can increase that. So if I put a value like, let's say 10, and you can see more variation like this, and looks nice for sure. So here noise scale 3 is what we want. Right, then we have noise details. I can increase this, and I can get more variations in my landscape. So I go to an extreme value like this, but you don't have to go that far, like, and you get more variations, and you can reduce that as well. And then if you reduce that, you don't see much variation. And then sharpness is also very similar. So you have this value like this, but you can reduce that value to like, say, quite like you get like a flat landscape like this. So it looks good some scenarios. So you can basically play with these two values, details and the sharpness, and get the result that you are going for. And then here we have something interesting called contrast. Multiple it's 0.1, but if you put a value like, let's say 1, and edit this, and you get like a landscape like this. So basically you have more flat surface and also more hills here in this landscape. And here it doesn't look nice for sure, but here you can put a value like 0.36 and 0.3, and it will give a decent value, a decent setup. And then you can play with the sharpness. You can increase the sharpness a little bit. You can get very interesting results, like quite little hills, and sometimes maybe this is you're looking for, but of course you can reduce the contrast and get what you are really looking for. Okay, now I can see there are some clipping, so that's because this height is too much. So I can easily go to the modify height section, and I can reduce the value height, and I can so I can basically change the height. And there are some options available here, and we have a separate video on how all these settings works. I check the description below for that video. And here we also have fading. Let me explain this quickly. So basically with fading, I can fade at the edges. So basically you can see there are some clippings at the edge. So if you go here, like, it doesn't look nice. So I can simply add some fading. It's quite easy. I can add in this fading section, I can add a box or circular fading. so it will looks like this by default, but I can reduce that value or something like 0.2, and then I can get something like this. Okay, this is the box fading, and this is the circular fading, and you get the idea. And then I can tweak this mask pan. I can put a value like this, and then I can do some saturation for this as well. So basically I can simply get an alter and get a duplicate. You don't have to do like this, you can get a new actor from here as well, so it's up to you. I'm gonna rotate this, let's say 180 times, and I'm gonna invert it again, so you get an exact copy over here. And then you have some blending options. Right now it's called copy, so you copy the landscape. So I can solo this, so this is it, and you simply copy this part of the landscape over here. But you have some options, like for example you can put a value like add, so you add on top of that. So you have a couple of options to play with. Yeah, totally, you can change the settings and get the result that you are going for. So I think this will save some time when you are working with your landscape, so you don't have to move to external software like Houdini or Gaia. So you can do everything right inside the engine, and I think it will be really useful. All right, this is it for today. See you soon with something interesting. Bye.